Hey, what's up, Chris? This is well, you know what's up, Chris. What's up, guys? This is Tayib from Housakics, and on the other line, I got Chris from Arch by CBB, man. All this nonsense. Man, what's up with you, man?
I'm getting ready to tweet this thing out, man. So if somebody wants to join in, I'm doing good.
All right.
Well,
all right. Yeah, go ahead. Talk,
Twitter, ARCHBYCCB. Same thing on YouTube. What's happening, people? Let's get it.
All right. So basically, today we're touching a pretty interesting topic, right? We're talking about Flight Club. No, Flight Club. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't give them that much credit. We're talking about consignment stores, like consignment shops. And if anyone doesn't understand what a consignment shop is, basically is you take your stuff in there as far as sneakers, and you leave them there, and they sell it for you because they have the traffic. And then once they sell it, they give you your percentage. Most consignment stores do it 80-20. 80-20 or 85-15 or 90-10. So basically, they sell the shoes for you, and you get 90 or 80% back, and they keep the 20, and that's how they thrive. Now, Flight Club is a top-selling consignment shop in the country. They've been around for a long time. I don't know how long they've been around, but I used to do a lot of business with them back in like 2008-9, and I sold a total of 63 pair of sneakers through Flight Club. That was back then when, you know, the golden era when selling shoes was good. I used to sell them a lot of, like, I used to send them a lot of shoes, and back then it was you send them an email and then they reply to your email. It took them sometimes like 10 days to send it back to you, man. You know, so but they were the only shop around, so it's like they had that kind of pool where they could just make you wait. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the payout was kind of, I didn't like the payout because, you know, once they sold your shoe, they sent you an email. Then you had to wait, like sometimes like on Wednesday or Tuesday, the checks went out on a Tuesday, or like, so it was like a whole bunch of stuff. Then you got your check. Then you went to the bank and deposited the check. So to get your money was too much work, but you got a lot of money for your shoes you sent there. I mean, I would send a shoe to Flight Club and sell that shoe for like $400. On my website, I can sell that shoe for $150. I still don't know how people just can't think, man. Like they're talking about how, you know, well, we don't know if your shoe's legit. Like, listen, we put our faces on camera, man. I'm not gonna be selling you fake shoes, all right? And if I do, because sometimes stuff get passed on, you don't know. You know, you could be the best legit check dude, and you can always get, you know, taken. So, but what we're talking about today is what is going on with consignment shops. A lot of them are like, I think they're gonna go out of business. No, Flight Club, so to speak, but a lot of them are gonna go down because there's been like the consumer is getting smarter, and there's a lot of things happening. And I'm gonna give you my my little story with Flight Club. So basically, I would send the shoe to Flight Club, and they would put it in their system. And it took sometimes like 4 or 5, sometimes a week for the shoe to pop up, right? But then they've gotten better because now they changed it. So that's like they have this link. I mean, you know what? Let me go on my website and then I'll share my screen with you real quick and I'll show it to you if you can see it. All right. So now they send you this link. Sell .flight club, sell whatever, and then you put in there. You go on there. Let me click on it. As a matter of fact. And then basically what you could do, once you sign in, you can add your shoes and everything. I don't have time to do it now, but, you know, let me go back on my website. So basically that's what you could do. But still, and now they have a new payout, so they can send you money through PayPal, so you don't have to wait any longer. They're getting better at that, you know, but there's still one thing that they're not doing right, in my opinion, is they have to find a way to allow the customer or the consumer or whoever send the shoe to keep his shoe. So basically what happens is when I send a shoe to Flight Club, I can no longer sell that shoe on my own website. You see what I'm saying? Like once I send the shoe to Flight Club, it's over with. Like I can't do nothing else. You know, I can't sell it on Kixify. I can't sell it on my own website. I cannot sell that shoe on eBay. I cannot sell that shoe on StockX. So to me, it's like that. Once you put your shoe in there, you don't have any control anymore. So you wait. And then what happens is if there's someone like now with all these other marketplaces like StockX and Goat and all these places, it's more competitive and they have cheaper prices. Flight Club is still charging like top dollar for their shoes, so people are getting smarter. So is it smart for you now to still send your shoe to Flight Club? I don't think so, or any other consignment shop, so to speak. I'd rather just send my stuff on StockX because once I put it on StockX, I still get a chance to keep my stuff at home. And I can still sell it on my website. And guess what? Once you get an offer on StockX, you can just accept it just like that. And then you send it to them and you get your money right away. With Flight Club, it's just too many things. You send your shoe there, you let it sit there, and now you don't have your shoes on hand anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I think with time, these kind of stores are gonna like disappear, man. Like, because I don't think people have time to just wait and sit. So what do you think, Chris? That's basically my experience with Flight Club. I still like them. I still think they're gonna thrive because it's like a sneaker market. Everybody want to go to Flight Club. They want to take pictures. I don't think they'll disappear. But the recent, like sneaker stores and consignment shop, the new ones that are popping up now, I don't think they're gonna last, man, because people don't have time to just send their stuff in there and just sit there and just wait. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Flight Club, because they got the traffic. They got celebrities going in there. They got people, and it's like a thing to be in Flight Club. It's not like, a regular consignment shop. But I still think they're gonna hurt because there's too many competitive other marketplaces, and people want better prices. People want convenience. People want to still have control on their product, and they want to be able to be king. Basically, I still want to be able to control my product. I still want to be able to get my money right away. You know what I'm saying? So, Chris, what do you think, man?
I think you're right. Let me turn my mic down. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Sir.
Okay. I was just making sure it was a lot of feedback on my end. I think you're dead right, man, that shops like Flight Club are in jeopardy of disappearing. Like you said, I don't think Flight Club's going anywhere because they are the OGs in this. And they kind of set the market price for a lot of shoes. And I even use them when I do Should You Buy the Flip? And I'm writing an article. I even use Flight Club as a kind of a guide for, I have a Flight Club check where I say if a shoe is selling for X amount of dollars, you can literally subtract $100 from it. And that's what you'll get on any other platform outside of Flight Club. So let's say if there's a Yeezy or something and it's selling for $500 on Flight Club, on any other platform, you're not getting, you may get 400. You'll never be able to get the same amount as Flight Club. So they're a good kind of gauge to see what you can make. But I don't think Flight Club's going anywhere. Like you said, I think they're going to stick around. But all of these new shops, there's a lot of new shops that are popping up. We actually have one in Memphis. And I'm actually nervous for the guy because we had a sneak peek here in Memphis. And it was a consignment shop and it was a sneaker shop. And it was the only independent sneaker shop that we had in Memphis. Now, we had some old Jordan brand accounts that were with different stores, but this was a sneaker shop, like a consignment shop. We're at a moment now where it's dead simply because of the amount of apps and locations where you can sell your shoes. All right. So let's run down a list of places where you can sell your shoes now, why you don't necessarily have to use a consignment shop anymore. But this is also affecting the overall market. So let's count them off. Let's say Kixify, right? GOAT, StockX, let's see, what's the Solecollector Marketplace?
Slang or whatever.
Solecollector Marketplace.
Slang.
There are all these different places where you can sell that no longer require you to pack your shoes up and send them off to Flight Club. So if that's the case, everybody looking at opening a shop, and it's definitely, I think, the wrong time to do it because the market itself is down, man. It's hard to sell anything now, primarily because there's so many places to sell and the search is fractured. So people are in this place, people are in this place, people are over here, all over the place for, basically trying to sell shoes. Hard to sell anything, but that's a good thing. Now, that's a good thing for the buyer. It's a buyer's market. And that's a good thing for the buyer. It has always wanted it to be. So when you say are shops like Flight Club dying, I'll put that in the chat. I think you're right. I think everybody's kind of struggling right now, but in particular, consignment shops are probably not doing very well anymore.
Well, I know why I'm saying that they're struggling, because back then it used to be how these dudes at, at this consignment shop they were really like arrogant and cocky, man. Like It used to be you send them an email, you know, and then you waited, and then every time you send an email, and they didn't have a number you could call and talk to them. But I've seen all the changes that a lot of these places have made. It makes me think they understand that, you know what, the heat is on. I better make some changes. I better make sure I help my customer because he's the reason why I'm alive. Because if you don't send your shoes to these places, they got no inventory. They don't buy and resell like, you know, most resellers. They depend on your shoes to make a living. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. With all these apps available, no one want to be able to, no one want to send their shoes anywhere. You want to keep your stuff at home and you want to be able to be in control. And then StockX is giving you a lot of, you know, I'm not saying StockX is the best, but they have one of the best thing out there because you get to keep your shoes. Something like Kixify, a lot of traffic, you get to sell it, you get to be in control, your money gets in your account right away. You know, Fly Club they still have a crazy amount of traffic. You go anywhere, they don't even have to do ads anymore. But it's funny, they're doing Facebook ads, which I thought was funny. They never used to do that kind of stuff. So why they doing Facebook ads and why they still doing ads? So that means somewhere down the line, they're hurting a little bit. So they still gotta be out there. But people, they still got a crazy amount of traffic. People just want to go to Flight Club just because they want to say in their lifetime, yes, I went to Flight Club. And that's what they have, and that's the edge they have on anybody else. Any other consignment shop in 5, 3, 4 years, they're gonna be out of business, man. And I'm saying it with confidence because I know I certainly don't want to send. I mean, I'm not even sending shoes to Flight Club anymore. I'm not doing it. And Flight Club is the place. I'm like, I don't need to. You know, there's too many places for me to send my stuff. I can sell on my own website. You know. So yes, I think, you know, all these places, if they don't adjust and they don't find a system that gets the buyer to the seller to keep your stuff at home, they're gonna be out of business, man. Because ain't nobody trying to send their shoes somewhere and just let it sit there. And then even when you want to get your shoes back, it's a pain in the neck. You know, it's all these things. You know, I want to be able to control my stuff. You know, so the lack of control is what drives a lot of people to want to go on StockX or Kixify or these other places. You know. So I think, you know, consignment shops. If you own a consignment shop now and you're not Flight Club, it's time maybe for you to like think something else because I don't know how long you're gonna last if you don't have a system that, you know, that really suits my needs or the need of all the other guys that want to sell their shoes through you. You have to have a crazy amount of traffic for me to send my shoes to you. And that's what everybody else is thinking. If you don't have that kind of traffic, I don't need you, really. Yeah, man.
I agree with you 100%, man. I think, you know, and I know we're going to get ready to cut this off and end it. Here it is, because when you talk to a lot of young dudes that are new in the sneaker game, the first thing they talk about is opening up a shop. You know, I'm going to open a shop. I'm going to do consignment. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and load up. And you have to look at insurance. You got to look at overheads. You have to look at security. And I mean, you know, you're playing a really tough game right now, man, because it's a bad time for sneaker resale. And I'm sure a lot of people out there are excited about it. They're happy that sneaker resale is dying out. They're happy about it. Problem. As sneaker resale dies out, so does the hype and kind of the emotion attached to the sneaker game. So it's no longer going to be the cool thing to have the dopest shoe because it's not going to matter. And I'm not saying that the only reason the sneaker is considered dope is because it resells. What I'm saying is the shoe. It doesn't matter anymore.
Well, you're right when you say that because there's a place in Wheaton Mall where I live. They had a consignment shop there. I went back last time. Them guys, they shut down, man. They was out of business because I walked in there. They had nobody in that store, and the store was dead. Like, you gotta have a substantial amount of traffic for you to be able to run a sneaker shop. And people don't think about having a store. If you have a store, I suggest you sell T-shirt. You know, because you know what? It's easier for me to spend $20 on a T-shirt or $15 than selling a shoe for like $200 to $250. Unless you have like really inexpensive shoes, it's hard to thrive in this market. And there's a lot of fakes now, so people are scared. If you don't reputable like a Flight Club, it's a wrap. You know, because I'm not gonna go to the store that I just open up and buy next shoe, pay like $700 to get a shoe. I don't know if they're legit. As you know, people always have this in mind, so you got to think about it. But if you're selling T-shirts, it's easier for you for someone to come in and spend like $15 on a T-shirt, especially if you're a cool designer, you know how to design T-shirts, some nice, you know, you're gonna make those. But as far as just focusing on sneakers, just ask Chris and I, man. We've been in this game for a while now. We sell on our own website, and right now, man, we still have the cheapest prices, and stuff is still not selling. So imagine, and we don't have any overheads. Everything is online. I don't have a store. Yeah. So I don't have to pay the rent. Everything's in my, I'm not going to say where I put my stuff, but everything is in my, so yes, and we're still struggling. So imagine you having a store, you got to have, I don't know, man. I don't even know if consignment shop is a good idea right now. If anybody's doing that, you better rethink it. And we're trying to save you money. All right? Anyway, we'll wrap it up here.
Good information, man. Good information. I know we're getting ready to sign off, so I'm gonna go ahead and give the big thanks to Tayib for inviting me to the conversation. I hope you guys listen to what he just said and what we're talking about, man. We're not saying this just because we're hating on Flight Club. We're not doing that. We know people are looking to start businesses and get into the sneaker business, and we're trying to help as much as possible. I don't think it's necessarily the time for you to open up a shop. It's just not the time. Now, if you were opening up an art gallery and it was going to double as a poetry venue and a sneaker shop where you could lock down all of your stuff on the weekend and then have events, then you know what? Yeah, go for it, because you're multi-purposing your shop. But if you're not going to multi-purpose the shop and you think you're just going to be a sneaker reseller and you're going to have a consignment spot, man, it's not going to happen. But you guys can find me ch-usa.com and on Twitter at ARCHBYCCB, and on YouTube at the same location. And I'm looking forward to talking to people, man, and answering questions. We're doing some great work on the websites. Definitely go to the websites. Everything will be in the description, and we'll have a breakdown down here. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on Inside the Ties on Friday and another sneaker talk on Wednesday night.
Salute. All right, man.